Your reality has a reason. The mind creates reality. Words become seeds. Thoughts become real. The story of the skull and the water. All things arise from the mind alone. Many people carry a dream of changing their reality. But is it truly possible? How you perceive yourself determines your position in life. And that position shapes the belief circuits through which your reality is expressed. To change your life, you must be able to step back and observe it, as if watching from the outside. You must analyze the beliefs that construct your reality and rewire them. Only then does everything change. Do you want to become wealthy? Do you want to build meaningful relationships? Do you want to achieve true self-realization? And yet, are only unwanted things showing up in your life? The truth is, the reality we live in unfolds from the beliefs we carry. And within us, there are countless beliefs we were never even aware of. Those beliefs must be healed, and only then will reality follow and change. This is a book I picked up at a library recently, drawn in by its title. I think it's worth reading at least once. The author, Carmelo, developed an interest in spirituality from the age of 10 and spent years studying and practicing various Eastern and Western spiritual traditions. In 2005, seeking an answer to the question, "Who am I?" he entered a cloistered monastery in Spain. In 2011, he took his permanent vows, becoming only the second Korean man in the monastery's 900-year history to do so. This book contains dialogues between the author and his counseling clients, healing the hidden beliefs that create a painful reality. Your reality has a reason. Here are a few of the cases introduced in this book. A is a real estate agent in his mid-50s. He prided himself on working harder than anyone, yet in 20 years in the industry, he had never once experienced financial abundance. His results never matched his effort. Despite working in real estate, he had never owned a home of his own. What he found hardest to bear was feeling dismissed by his wife and children because of his financial situation. Throughout our session, he vented his frustration about the cycle of poverty that kept repeating in his life. I asked him, "You have always been financially lacking, is that right?"
Yes, not once have I ever felt truly abundant.
Even taking into account that material abundance is relative? For example, a monthly income of 3 million won might feel tight for someone raising 3 children, but generous for someone living alone. It might feel insufficient for someone with many hobbies, but more than enough for someone who simply goes between home and work. Material wealth is less about the actual amount and more about the state of mind that receives and interprets it. Even with all of that considered, have you always experienced lack?
Yes. Even accounting for all of that, I've always felt poor.
So poverty keeps repeating.
Yes, it just keeps repeating.
And how does your heart feel as you watch this situation?
It's suffocating. Being dismissed by my own child, called a father who can't earn, it's killing me.
Good. I think I understand why money has no place in your life. What I'm about to say may come as a shock. Are you ready?
I'm scared of what's coming, but I'm ready.
The reason you are poor is because you have chosen poverty. You are pushing wealth away. Looking at A's situation, one thing stood out: repetition. The first thing repeating was financial lack. His poverty was not a one-time event. It kept coming back. The second thing repeating was frustration and complaint. Poverty and the complaints about poverty were both repeating. This pattern demands attention. Most people find this hard to accept. But when something keeps repeating, it means it has been chosen as part of who you are.
I can't believe that. Are you saying I chose poverty?
Yes. But the part of you that chose poverty is not the you you're familiar with. The sense of I, you know, is only the most surface-level expression of your consciousness. The choice of poverty happened at a much deeper level of the mind. You simply never noticed.
I don't understand. Why would I choose something harmful to myself?
Repeating realities are chosen from deep within your consciousness. There is no other explanation for repetition.
Then why did I make that choice?
Is there something else that repeats in your life that is the reason?
What do you mean?
Complaint, dissatisfaction. In A's life, poverty was repeating, and alongside it, so was the complaining about poverty. Let's look at the relationship between these two. The common view would be poverty came first, and complaint was the natural result. But a non-dualistic perspective doesn't flow in only one direction. Look at cause and effect as a whole. It's possible that he was poor because he complained, but equally possible that poverty existed so that he could keep complaining. See the event and the outcome together from above. Poverty and complaint are interdependent. Poverty requires complaint. and complaint requires poverty to justify itself. In the end, poverty and complaint are one. If you want to change the poverty, you must stop complaining. This may seem like a complete reversal.
That's hard to understand. Shouldn't I change the cause to change the result?
That's the conventional way of thinking, and it's not wrong. But cause and effect are one. They exist simultaneously within the same relational field. From a linear view of time, cause precedes effect. But from a wider view, what we call effect can itself be the hidden cause that generates and sustains the original condition.
Changing the result means not denying the event itself, but re-perceiving the emotions, feelings, perspective, and attitudes that come with it.
Your reality keeps repeating a pattern of lack. The emotions that accompany it, frustration and complaint, keep repeating as well. The core emotional pattern in your case is dissatisfaction.
Yes, I'm deeply dissatisfied with my reality. I have no idea what I did wrong to deserve a life this hard.
You feel unrecognized by your wife and children. You feel your efforts have gone unrewarded. You feel wronged. In all of these, there is one common underlying need, the need to be recognized.
Yes, I want to be recognized. I have wanted it my whole life and never once received it.
Now, here is something worth thinking about. If reality is hard, it's hard. But why complaint? Is there a rule that says difficult circumstances must always be accompanied by chronic dissatisfaction? There isn't. And yet, in your life, poverty and complaint have always come together. Which means this reality exists for the sake of the complaint. The repetition of complaint proves it. Deep within you, there is a need for recognition. But because recognition never comes in reality, the complaint keeps repeating. And here is the trap. The need for recognition itself is the problem. You actually don't want to be recognized.
What? No. I want recognition. I want it desperately.
If you truly wanted to be recognized, your reality would begin shifting toward one in which you are. Reality is a perfect reflection of the beliefs in the mind. But deep down, what you actually want is not to receive recognition. It is to maintain the desire for recognition. The need is not meant to be fulfilled. It is meant to persist. Think back. Has there ever been a time when the need for recognition was met and the need itself disappeared?
No. it would fade for a moment, then return.
That is the nature of a desire that functions as a defense mechanism. The need for recognition must not actually be met. If you think of the need for recognition as its own kind of entity, its purpose is to seek recognition. But the moment that purpose is fulfilled, it must disappear. That is its dilemma, its contradiction.
So the need for recognition must not be satisfied?
Exactly. Deep within you, this defense mechanism has been operating. And for the need to survive, it must ensure it is never truly fulfilled. It employs fear to do this. Fear of losing what you have. Fear of failing and being recognized even less. Fear is a device for avoiding responsibility. I want recognition, but I'm afraid of losing what I have. I want it, but I'm afraid failure will make things worse. These fears protect the need from ever being resolved. And beneath all of this, there is a deeper belief. I am a person who lacks. Because this belief is already accepted at the deepest level, the uncertainty about whether recognition is even possible, the fear only accelerates. And the safest option becomes, don't try at all. This is the fear of loss. Either don't attempt anything, or allow attempts to fall apart midway for a seemingly reasonable reason. That way, the situation in which you cannot accept yourself never has to arrive. It's like preparing a detailed alibi in advance. I gave it my best, but things just didn't work out. Prearranging your own failure, and then defending yourself with it.
That's shocking. So I've been meticulously preparing to fail?
To summarize, you have defined yourself as a person who is deficient. From that self-definition, a need for recognition arose. That need, in order to survive, employed fear. And that fear has kept you in a state of poverty, so that the situation in which you cannot accept yourself never actually has to happen. In the end, you have defined yourself as a poor person from the deepest level of your mind. And from that came the belief, I can never make it. Your reality has been proving that belief through the repeating cycle of financial lack. But to admit this would be to admit that I am incompetent. That too is unbearable. So instead, the belief becomes, I work hard. It's just that luck hasn't been on my side. And to prove that, you keep complaining. You are in some way enjoying the complaining. The reality keeps repeating in its impoverished form to sustain this entire mechanism.
What is it all for?
So that you have the legitimate right to keep complaining, and so that you can escape the pressure of having to try harder, and the fear of still not being recognized, even if you do. The need for recognition appearing in your life is not aimed at being fulfilled through achievement. Its goal is simply its own survival. Poverty must continue so that the self-definition of "I am deficient" can be maintained. At a deeper level, there has always been a reason you needed to stay poor. That was A's core issue. His reality, the repeating cycle of poverty and its accompanying emotions, was a mechanism for maintaining the deep belief, "I am a deficient being." To change his reality, the first thing he needed to do was stop complaining about it. After the session, A stopped his complaints. No matter how hard things got, he committed to maintaining a positive perspective. That shift alone was enough. His business began to grow. As results appeared, his confidence grew and a positive cycle began. 2 years later, he bought a house in his own name. The way his wife and children looked at him changed completely. B currently runs a restaurant. As a child, she grew up in a deeply painful home environment with her mother. Getting out, becoming independent, was her only goal. She studied relentlessly, left her hometown, got into a university in Seoul, worked with almost no sleep, saved money, and eventually opened her own restaurant. She has never returned home. But in recent years, her restaurant's revenue began to decline. When COVID hit, she was barely keeping the doors open. Things are very difficult right now. How are you holding up? Just barely. COVID has made it so much harder. There's nothing I can do. COVID is certain doubt of it. But in your words, there is an unconscious belief, my business is failing. You're placing all the blame on COVID. But the real cause of your reality lives in the unconscious beliefs deep within you.
Honestly, I know blaming COVID isn't helping, but if I don't blame something, I feel like I'll completely fall apart.
That feeling, that willingness to keep going, is good. It means you can rise again. Let's look at the real issue. Why do you want to become wealthy?
I grew up carrying deep wounds from my relationship with my mother. it was an incredibly painful time. From middle school, all I could think about was getting out. To become independent, I needed money, and so the desire to become wealthy grew naturally.
Why did your mother abuse you?
My mother and father separated before I was born. She raised me alone. I was already unwelcome before I even arrived. She took the extreme stress of raising a child by herself out on me. I was her emotional punching bag. She was particularly terrified of money, and every time she took that stress out on me, the pain was unbearable. She never properly bought me school supplies, always complaining, always giving in reluctantly. My lunch was always just rice and kimchi, so I gritted my teeth, studied, and left.
Do you still resent your mother?
Yes, I still do. I have no desire to forgive her, not yet.
And yet I understand you've been sending her living expenses.
She's still my mother. Since I started earning money, I've been sending her a fixed amount every month.
Just money, no visits?
I haven't gone home in years. I use being busy as an excuse. The truth is, I don't want to see her. I hate her. I hate that house.
How much do you send? Enough to cover what she actually needs?
No, I don't want to satisfy her. I always send less than she needs. If she needs 100, I send 70. She can figure out the rest.
I think I understand your core pattern now. You are using money to take revenge on your mother. Money has become your instrument of revenge.
Ah, I'm getting revenge through money. I think I already knew that somewhere.
The wounds from your mother turned into a desire for revenge. And the tool of revenge is the very thing your mother feared most: money. Even your drive to succeed was an expression of that revenge. In the end, the desire for revenge determined the nature of money in your life. For you, money was your mother's weakness. Now that you are free from her control, you express your hatred and revenge through money. And so, in your reality, money has come to represent hatred and revenge. That negativity has blocked the circuit of wealth.
I'll admit that I have been using money as a tool for revenge. But what happens when money becomes that in a person's life?
Money is inherently neutral, empty. The nature of money is determined by the feelings you pour into it. and money will show up in your life in a way that proves whatever you have assigned to it. If money is defined as hatred and revenge, money hates you back. Money takes revenge on you.
Money is taking revenge on me?
It already is. You can no longer love money or experience love through money. As long as you carry the desire to take revenge on your mother, the moment money comes to mind, the wounds from your mother surface with it. That's why even the act of withholding from her brings you pain. Money reflects you perfectly. The moment money enters your hands, it takes on a character of its own. How you treat money determines whether the circuit of wealth expands or closes. Money is also a mirror. A mirror reflects exactly what stands before it. Whatever beliefs and emotions you assign to money, money returns them to you. This is why your business kept declining. Every time things went wrong, you were forced to face your mother's face through money. Her most urgent task was reconciliation with her mother. She held with compassion the part of herself that had used money, her mother's greatest fear, as a weapon of hatred and revenge. She made peace with the memories of her mother stored inside her, and with the painful emotions those memories carried. And as she did, the circuit of wealth in her life began to open. A few months after the session, her restaurant's revenue slowly began to recover. She was able to forgive her mother. And when she forgave her mother in her heart, her mother reached out first, saying she was sorry, asking to be forgiven. The day she heard those words, she wept. The one sentence she had waited her whole life to hear. A sincere apology. Today, her mother lives with her and works alongside her in the restaurant. Her mother's experience has become a great asset to the business. The circuit of wealth is often connected to the knots of belief formed in human relationships. This is why we need a wide and open view of human life as a whole. Ask yourself why you want what you want. You may find yourself at a loss for words. That's not a problem. If you want something, you must at least be clear about what it is and why you want it. Otherwise, your desire is nothing more than a hollow fantasy, an empty wish, a delusion. Ask yourself honestly, why do I want that person? Why do I resent that person? Why do I want wealth? Why do I want to be rich? Why do I believe money is everything? Within those answers, The core belief behind everything is hiding.